Good morning. It is day 3 of our 7-night Western Caribbean cruise here on Sun Princess. Today we're in Roatan, Honduras, but I will likely be staying on the ship because I'm actually working. However, I want to take you guys through a little bit of information about what that's like to work while you're on board a cruise ship, and also share what we do the rest of the time, because I'm not going to work 12 hours today. I just had my first meeting of the day, and just before this encountered one of the challenges that's a somewhat new challenge and is ship specific when you're trying to get stuff done, and that is finding a quiet area. Now, often what I'll do is if you go to a restaurant or dining room that is not open, they'll let you in and you just go in. As long as you don't mess anything up, it's no problem. I've done that on many ships, and people said, yeah, go for it. Some ships do have a dedicated space. The problem that I ran into here is I thought, you know what, it's the morning. I'm going to go over to the International Cafe where I can get a little something to eat and get an espresso, and there's a lot of seating, and I'll enjoy that. Well, on newer ships, we're getting more into these multi-use spaces. On Sun Princess, it's that piazza. Now, Princess ships all have a piazza. That's the atrium area. But on Sun Princess, they actually have aerial rigging in there and a moving LED wall and a stage that rises, and they use it for shows. Cool. Well, we're in port. There's no show going on. There is a rehearsal. And I ran into this actually on Odyssey of the Seas when I would work in 270, which was a beautiful space to work in, big panoramic windows. But the problem was that occasionally they would do rehearsal, and you're in a meeting and there's music. So I came over to I forgot what this is called, but it's a small bar on the lower level of the dome. And that's why you see the big windows there. And I was just able to have a meeting with a nice lighting, nice view. Simple. By the way, I always would recommend using a privacy screen on your laptop when you're going to be working from any public space. Now, going to head back to the room. It's almost lunchtime, and then do a little more work. Connectivity, that's a common question. Several years ago, I would have said, oh man, it's going to be tough. Maybe there's a couple ships. These days, it's a lot easier. Don't expect speeds like home. But for the most part, if you have whatever the top tier package is that a line offers, you're probably going to be in pretty good shape. I've found that on this ship, it's not been as fast as some others, but it's been reliable. I've been able to have meetings on Zoom and Google Meet and run queries, move files around. So not a big issue unless you're doing really large uploads. Lunchtime. When you're working, lunch is always a great time. When you're on a ship, even better. However, it brings up something I may have mentioned in another day's vlog, I'm not sure. The Princess app does certain things really well, but I hate the fact that you can't just say, hey, I'm hungry now, what's available? What's open right now? You can look at dinner schedules, but that's not helpful, and even that only covers the bigger restaurants. So we figured the eatery, which is the buffet venue, would be open, and that's where we are. Worth noting that here you do not serve yourself. It's all behind glass. I like that, keeps things more sanitary and I suspect less wasteful too. Workday lunch with a view. There's outdoor seating on both sides of the eatery. Not bad. Had a good meal at the eatery. There's decent variety there. If I'm looking for what stands out compared to some other cruise ship buffets or that type of venue, I'd say it's there's a good amount of stuff that is, and this may turn some people off, and healthier stuff. And I don't just mean, oh, there's a lot of salad, but a lot of things seem to be more fresh, a little less processed. It's been good. Oh, also, if you want something less healthy, in addition to the American Diner, which is in the same area, and they have wings and burgers and stuff like that, I didn't even realize, I hadn't noticed this on the deck plan. Out here on the promenade, you have the Promenade Grill, and right next to a bar, and hello. And they've got burgers and tacos, a few other things there. A lot of options on the ship. Clouds rolled in the last couple hours, but keeps it from being too warm. I came back to the cabin a different way, just exploring, came up the aft elevators here. Those are the panoramic elevators you might have seen the other night. And I found Love by Brito, which is a specialty restaurant inspired by the artist Homero Brito. And I've heard great things. It's a small venue, it looks like. Let's walk around. It is $80 per person, which is a significant upcharge, especially on Princess, where specialty dining is usually much more reasonable than other lines. It is also the one that is not included with Princess Premier. Work is over, it's vacation time. That is the only day this cruise I am working. Connectivity worked out great for the entire thing. I was nervous at one point. They made an announcement saying they were testing the emergency power systems and elevators wouldn't work and certain other things might not work, and it was right before a meeting, but the internet kept working. Yeah, we both had successful work days. I was going to be fancy and flip the camera, but you know, I can just do this instead and wait to walk backwards into something. Still docked here in Roatan. I think we're here reasonably late. It's really been a bit overcast for the afternoon, but that's okay. We're just going to hang out, going over to the sanctuary sun deck area, which I keep calling the wrong thing, but that's fine. And going to relax. Donated some money over at the casino, and now I stopped over at Crooner's for a drink. Crooner's is like a piano bar of sorts. I mean, the name, you get the idea, Crooner's, but it's a staple on Princess. Right now there's music in the piazza, so no music here, but still a lovely place to hang out and get a drink, and beautiful views during the day. Let's talk for a minute about something that I found a little bit, I don't want to say off-putting, but annoying about the sailing, actually. So I cruise Virgin a lot. Some of you may have seen those videos, and people obsess over getting dinner reservations on Virgin, and I pretty much never make reservations because you can get walk-ups and such. And it's when you allow for reservations, it creates this thing, people think you need them, and then if everyone rushes to get them, and then you can't get them. So I ran into a similar situation. Princess Premier, the package we purchased, I talked about that, it comes with the sanctuary, but you can purchase it independently for $80 per person per day. Includes specialty dining, the highest drink packages, 4 internet devices per person, gratuities, and more. That, because we have that for specialty dining, I thought, great, I want to enjoy a lot of specialty dining on this cruise, but all the reservations were booked well in advance. So I thought maybe once we got on board more would open up, and apparently on day one, but I honestly didn't look. I just went over to, I forgot what it's called here, but the seafood restaurant, Rudy's, I forget his last name, but S, famous chef. Now I feel bad. And I said, hey, what about walk-ups? And they said, check by 5 or 5:30 and then 8:30. Those are the kind of 2 times they look at that. I said, what about other restaurants? She said, depends on the restaurant manager. If they only do it at 2 times or throughout, but check in and you can often get something. So that's what we're going to try and do tonight, is get a walk-up. And I really hope we can get in some specialty dining, because we could have for lunch today and I didn't know, as I mentioned earlier in the video, couldn't see what's open now for dining, at least not in any way that I've found, not in any easy way. So there's some things that are simple things that I think they could improve with the experience, given that technology is so integral. I mean, I just ordered that drink. I didn't have to give anyone a card or anything. I asked for the drink. He said, Mr. William. I said, yes. And that was it. So anyway, all that to say, enjoying a drink while Larissa gets ready. And then hopefully we'll be enjoying specialty dining for the first time on this ship. Sitting here in Crooner's, I noticed there's a show going on in the piazza. And it's really neat that the piazza on Royal class ships, which is the only class I've been on, I actually like the layout of the piazza better. And I think it is very functional for certain things, but this is great because it can also be a performance space. I mean, there's even room for aerial rigging here. They can do all sorts of stuff. Now, the downside to that is that you can't really have anything going on, let's say in Crooner's, while this is happening, because the sound would clash. But it is pretty cool that I was just sitting enjoying a drink, and now I'm watching these talented folks. That was Isabella and Pavel. Really neat, talented folks. I'm looking forward, I wanted to catch, I will at some point, hopefully, an entire show here, but you have the piazza here, you also have the dome, and then the main theater that I continuously forget the name of. I don't know why they just Didn't call it the Princess Theater, but that's fine. The Princess Arena, I think, is what they called it. But neat to have multiple performance spaces like that. It's something I appreciate on Celebrity Edge, for example, because you have the club, you have Eden, and then the main theater. So pretty cool there. There's also, and I don't know if we're going to get to see it. I heard there was an injury on the last sailing or just before the last sailing, but Cirque Eloise has it's a Montreal-based, a Quebec-based circus. They have an installation on the ship that I think performs in the dome. So we'll just keep checking the schedule. Sitting here at Crooners, you have this giant curved wall for the sphere in the center of the ship. And it's pretty cool. It's a lot of reflecting light right now because it's night. You got the pilot boat out there through the windows. It's just a neat perspective. I always like when public spaces have a lot of large windows, and even at night, in this particular case, you can appreciate the extent to which that's true on this ship. For those of you that don't know, the harbor pilot, along with the captain of the vessel, is in charge of the vessel while she's going in and out of the local waters. Harbor pilot is an unlimited tonnage captain, has an unlimited tonnage master's license, and is very familiar with the local waterways, local currents, hazards, any projects going on. I wish you could see the ladder, because what they do is they climb up and down a rope ladder when they're embarking, disembarking. And he's come right up against the hull, so you can barely see him there. You can see the wash from the pilot boat, and any second the pilot will step on board the pilot boat and they'll immediately pull away, and there you go. There he goes. Often they'll give a quick wave. There he is, giving a quick wave. Just had a couple drinks at Crooners and ran into our friend Robbie Prince.
Cheers.
Check out RobbiePrince.com. He's a fantastic comedian. We met him on, I think it was Beyond. And
Yep.
In addition to being a funny guy, he's also a really nice guy. So check him out, RobbiePrince.com. If you're on a ship where he's playing.
Many ships. All ships. My schedule, you can see my schedule on my website.
Check him out. And now it's time for dinner.
Bye.
We're here in the Americana Diner. We had initially planned to go to the seafood restaurant, Rudy, just like the last time. Can't remember his last name. They said, yeah, if you come at 8:30, we can set you up. We ended up running into our friend Robbie, chatted for a long time. I was gonna say too long, but it was a lovely chat. So all the specialty restaurants were already closed. So really our options were late night options at the eatery or the Americana Diner, or there's one place on deck. So we're over here at the Americana Diner, gonna grab just something simple, and that's okay. We'll enjoy it, enjoy the rest of the evening, but we'll be sure, now that we know that all the specialty restaurants close at 9 o'clock, to get something earlier later on in the cruise. We'll see. Tomorrow we're in Belize City. I'm definitely going to check what's open for lunch tomorrow. That is the lesson I'm learning, is the app doesn't show you, so don't make assumptions about what's open, what's closed, and the hours that they're operational. That's on us. Got some sort of Cajun corn. I don't know what makes it Cajun. I was expecting like Cajun spices on it or something, but I mean, who doesn't like corn on the cob? What maniac doesn't like corn on the cob? There's red something? I mean, yeah, there's red cabbage. Let's find out. I got fish and chips, and I asked, and I was told the mushy peas are actually vegetarian. That's pretty rare. Got some HP sauce to go with it. Larissa got a veggie burger. We are hungry and wanting to eat, and then we'll explore the ship more. Mississippi mud pie, bread and butter pudding, and maybe a smattering of vegetables that ended up here. Had nothing to do with Larissa hazardously eating. Everything's under control here.
I'm hazardous.
Dinner accomplished. Over here at the eatery, there is a late night section that is open until 12 o'clock at night. And there's actually a pretty good variety of stuff. You see there's like taco stuff and burgers, hot dogs, there are sandwiches, looks like pasta, and then you've got some grab and go items. These are some of the same grab and go items you saw at lunch, but delicious. I mean, I'm sure they're different ones. You know what I mean. So nice late night options, in addition to the additional grab and go section, which I would assume is going on later. I'm not sure. But we saw this on the first day, and there's sandwiches, desserts, and such. I really like that. That reminds me of what Virgin does. I love the concept of just easy grab-and-go stuff. As someone, maybe I'm a bit biased, but as someone that works from ships sometimes, that's really convenient. Back in the piazza, there is an 80s party tonight. I associate these colors more with the 90s. Is that just me? Put it in the comments. Larissa disagrees. She thinks I'm crazy, but
You're
I
wrong.
think I think 80s. I think burnt orange and brown.
That's Japanese.
Let us know. We've had a lovely evening hanging out. We checked out briefly the 80s party show happening over in the piazza, and we roamed around a bit, but ended up spending a while just sitting and having a couple drinks, chatting with Robbie Prince, who was on here just a couple clips ago. And he's a fun guy. I look forward to seeing his show tomorrow. And that pretty much took up the evening. Now we just walked to see what was going on over at the club, and I discovered something, and I'm going to do a strange part of the video that is only, according to YouTube statistics, for 43% of you. Though I think everyone's gonna find this maybe a little bit weird. I don't usually do videos of restrooms, but imagine you've had a few drinks, you're on a ship, and you go, I'm gonna go into the restroom. And you're a guy, and you walk into the restroom, and there's no urinal. Strangely, it's behind a door. So out of all the weird layout things with this ship, that's one of them? Okay. End of bathroom cam. It has been a long day. It is time to go to sleep. I worked from the ship. Sorry for any wind. Walking by the pool deck now to head back to our room. Internet held up, got stuff done, vacation started, went to dinner. That part didn't go as planned, but still had a lovely time, hung out with a comedian friend, and tomorrow we're in Belize City, Belize. I've actually never gotten off the ship there because it's a long tender ride. We'll see. I want to check out some more of the ship tomorrow, so I really don't know what tomorrow will hold, but we're going to share it with you. Whatever happens, please do me a favor and check out our friends and sponsors over at Touring and Cruises. They will help you travel smarter. They help us plan all of our trips. And of course, like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Thanks.